Toastmaster. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. If you can control the meaning of words, you can control the people who use them. It's a quote by Philip K. Dick, the author of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Which was later to be made into the film Blade Runner. Look, my speech this evening is aiming to take us on a whistle-stop tour of some scenarios from literature, film, philosophy, even a bit of social media. And I want to try to illustrate to you this evening how words affect our perceptions of reality and what's around us. First off, I'd like you to imagine for a moment. And with me, we're going back to ancient Greece. We're catching up with Plato. Plato had a thing called the allegory of the cave. If you imagine all of us in this room, we're currently stuck in a cave. We're all chained to the floor. We're all facing inward into the cave, and at the back of the cave is a screen. Behind us is the entrance. Light behind us, we don't even know it's there. We're facing this way. The screen has a fire behind it, and above the fire are these guys. We can't even see them. They are puppeteers. In front of the fire, casting shadows on the screen. We look at them. We stare at the shadows. This is all we understand. This is our perception. We discuss them. This shadow's doing this to that. This shadow's doing this to that. But one of us, Jason here, for example, Jason says, nuts to this, I'm off. I'm getting off these chains. He turns around, scarpers and heads for the entrance. And he sees the world outside. There's this blue thing, if I knew what blue was. There's running water. There are animals skipping around. And Jason, being the good-hearted guy he is, he thinks, right, these guys have got to know about this. Back in their cave. So he runs back inside. Guys, look. Look what I've seen. I've seen this world outside. Shush, Jason. Don't bother me. We're looking at the shadows here. He's insistent, because Jason's a persistent guy like that. Anyway, we get angrier and angrier with him. And we kill Jason. I'm sorry, Jason. We've had enough of that. So much for philosophers like Jason. Next, I want us to consider George Orwell. So George Orwell, English writer, in 1948 wrote the prophetic book 1984, touching on subjects we've looked at this evening, in fact. The book is about the protagonist, Winston Smith. He's a journalist. Writes for the Ministry of Enlightenment, because all journalism is by the government enacted in 1984. And in the Ministry of Enlightenment, they use a specific form of language. They're not flowery and flouncy like Philip here. They're, with their language, they use a form of language called Newspeak. And in Newspeak, instead of using words like wonderful, superlative, wondrous. They use language, they want to close the language down, reduce it. So things are good, plus good, double plus good. It works the other way too. Instead of things being awful or horrendous, they're bad, plus bad, double plus bad. What they're doing is they're reducing the language. Instead of and it's my contention, actually, that Orwell, he was prophetic. We're kind of living this thing today. Think about the word like. I think most of us have experiences of sitting on a train listening to teenagers saying how they like this, they like that, and every other word is like. Get over it. There are only two genuine uses of the word like, folks. The rest are out. Similarity. This tastes like chicken. Enjoyment. I like chicken burgers. However, the most common misuse of the word like, it's often used instead of said. He was lying. "Where are you going?" She was like, "None of your business." "Why not?" He inquired, "Where are you going?" She retorted, "None of your business." And of course, the origins, where does all this come from? I'm afraid it's our friends in America again. It's a thing called Newspeak, it's Valley Speak. It hails from California, and yes, it's informed Facebook today, and it is that ubiquitous, non-committal, standoffish cyber grunt that people click when they see a comment on the system that they like. Of course, the second most common error is one of approximation. You'll need about 3 tablespoons of butter for that. Try roughly. Even about will work. Do you see how our words and our thoughts become limited by the use of this reductive language? You see, I think words are magic. They really are. You see, witches cast spells. Well, they might use toads and weird stuff in cauldrons, but we also spell with words. A little bit of magic going on here. So I like words. They contain hidden meanings. An example for you, think about the word toll and what that means. Well, also the word troll sounds very similar. It's a nasty monster that sits under a bridge demanding money from you with menaces to go over that bridge. The words sound the same. Is that an accident? I don't know. The final scene I'd like to leave you with is from one of my favourite films by director John Carpenter, 1988. Film is They Live. It stars the main character Roddy Piper, who plays a down and out who finds a box of sunglasses. When he puts on the sunglasses, he sees reality for what they are, for what it is. And long story short, he looks into his wallet, he pulls out a note, and on the note it says, "This is your God." And of course, money affects us in a big way. Time being short right now, we'll have to cut this short. It's important for us to articulate reality to one another with our words, make sure that we're right. Otherwise, we are manipulated by these puppet masters in the shadows. Alex would probably have us deceive one another. I say, pay attention to what you perceive in order that you may not be deceived. Mr. Toastmaster.